Senator Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Admiral Bradley, General Anderson, thank you for being here and for continuing to volunteer to serve our nation. SOCOM and AFRICOM both leverage economies of force principles, so applying limited resources for having an outsized impact. And this requires some careful planning and using the right assets against the right problem. Within this economy of force principle, how important are interagency partners like the Department of State for SOCOM and AFRICOM's campaign plan?
Senator, I'll start. Across the special operations community, our partnership with the integrated interagency, also our law enforcement, federal, and frankly, even our local law enforcement partnerships have been critical to us over these last 25 years. And I see that as nothing but growing in the future. If confirmed as a SOCOM commander, the relationships that we have inside our integrated interagency, cultivating those and sustaining them, I think would have to be a top priority. I can tell you that today, the state of those relationships, from my current experience, is frankly a high water mark, certainly of my 34 years, and I suspect even longer than that.
And General, do you share that view?
Senator, I agree that we have very limited resources, and so we have to partner across all government agencies to maximize those resources and to find where we can complement each other. We provide the military piece of that, but to Admiral Bradley's point, my entire career with special operations has been working with multiple different agencies in order to maximize that, whether that's the FBI and using legal authorities in different parts of the world, working with our intelligence community, or with State Department and others to make sure we leverage the full authorities and capabilities of our nation.
One of my big concerns here is the impact that the cuts to USAID within the State Department is going to have on our ability to build some trust with partner nations. That's a concern of mine. I'm not going to put you on the spot here on that topic, but I think it is something that I hope the two of you think about. Admiral Bradley, China and Russia currently waging some irregular warfare campaigns against us and our allies in a lot of different places. PRC is using violence to impose their will on the Philippines in the Second Thomas Shoal, and Russia has a long history of using irregular warfare, most recently in Ukraine. And leveraging your most recent experience as the commander of JSOC, how does the U.S. effectively wage irregular warfare to compete and win with Russia and China in the gray zone?
Senator, thank you. In my last 3 years, I've had the opportunity to be a member of the SOCOM Board of Directors and really watch our theater special operations commands who are responsible for operations for the joint SOF community inside those areas. And I can tell you that our principal advantage that the SOF value proposition brings is understanding and enhanced understanding of those insidious actions, which are really preying on our alliance structure. Being able to illuminate that predatory activity gives our diplomats and our whole of government and our allies power to be able to stand against it and be resilient to it. That in turn strengthens our alliance and deepens our credibility when we want to partner and build capacity there.
All right. Well, thank you. And finally, in my last minute here, General Anderson, I traveled, it's been about a year and a half now, but in the Sahel and, just parts of Africa where Wagner is pretty active, especially on social media, to exploit coups in Western Africa, commit human rights abuses. And when the Russians gain a foothold in these countries, they use a significant amount of disinformation to intimidate the local population, stifling opposing views while they claim to provide security. So, General, how does Russia's social media activity impact security and stability in AFRICOM?
Senator, I think that is one of Russia's greatest weapons that they're employing across the continent. One of the things they use quite often is disinformation. They play on historic grievances, historic colonial issues, fears of sovereignty, and they play that up into an anti-democratic, anti-Western that then has impacts to U.S. support. I believe that the Russian influence in the information operations were critical in turning populations against the French in the Sahel. I think it is very much not in our interest with what the Russians are doing in the information domain.
Not only in Africa, but if I could just take a couple more seconds, do you feel like we're losing this information warfare with the Russians, Chinese, Iranians?
Senator, to refer to what we discussed earlier, the truth is incredibly powerful. We have that still. We are still a very credible source of information. We need to leverage that. I think we need to be more aggressive about that in this domain, but I wouldn't say we're necessarily losing it. But if we do not engage, we risk losing it.
All right. Thank you.